96.9 KO. It's the Florida Georgia line. We're going to get a report from Nashville, Tennessee. Katy Rogers is on. You say you're on a bus, huh?
I am, and how do y'all? I'm headed to the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum bright and early to work. So I'm talking to you from my bus number 10, the Charlotte Avenue, and thanks to Connie, our bus driver, for all her hospitality. It's nice and cool on here, and it is very hot in Nashville, and I'm sure dreaming of that Webb Pierce guitar-shaped pool from last week's report. Let's continue on with the story from Garth, former manager to country superstar Kenny Rogers. Kenny is currently on his final tour before retirement, and I thought it would be interesting to hear from someone who worked so closely with the singer. You may not even realize what an impact he had on the recording industry. Garth remembers.
If you were Tammy Wynette or George Jones at that time, and you had a contract with your record company to do 7 albums, and you had done 6, and they put out a greatest hits, it did not count as the 7th album because all those songs had been on the previous 6 albums. When Kenny Rogers released Lady, he put it on his first ever greatest hits album, making that album copyrightable unto itself and fulfilling his contract. And that's why ever since then, everybody has him to thank for that. People from George Strait to Patti Loveless to Reba McEntire, because they all started putting 2 new songs on their greatest hits package, and it had never been done before Kenny did it.
The Gambler's Last Deal continues through 2017. In other news from Music Row, just announced, and as Garth mentioned last week, Music Row Studios will soon begin to offer group tours to tourists. You can now get a behind-the-scenes look at where Nashville's music is made, and I'll soon be going on one of those tours in Studio B2. More on that later. So until next week, we're keeping it all country right here on the bus from my neighborhood to yours, South Sound. I'm Katy Rogers, reporting for 96.9.
96.9